There is a presence rising in the interwebs known only as Dad. Exactly what it is or what its intentions are have yet to be accurately defined nor confirmed.
The 23.
Who, or exactly what, is Dad?
Still don't get it, do you?
Can't be stopped.
Alien? Android? Antichrist? Well, in case you haven't heard, he's only the bestest YouTuber in all of the universes to have ever existed.
Dad simply can't be stopped, the king of YouTube. Watch out, pew pew.
There are not many who can withstand his melodic tones, his mesmerismic trance dance, or his gentle yet hypnotic glare, which no doubt are only a few of the reasons he is skyrocketing towards stardom. If we were to take one part E.T., one part Neo from The Matrix, one part Hannah Montana, and one part Homer J. Simpson, and if we were to roll them all together up into one, we would still have only a reasonable facsimile of what Dad is. If you were to ask Dad, he'd simply say, Dad is Dad. He is the archetypical father figure, one we may live vicariously through, or virtually adopt as our own. We live during an age when single-parent homes are the norm, and with the bombardment of so much digital confusion, it is easier to accept these kinds of notions, and even to embrace them, when we have only a vague idea of what the real thing is. We seem to look for acceptance online from strangers, even more so than from our own family unit at home. And in the realm of ARG, this is no different. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no stay-at-home, do-it-yourself garage ARG. No, this is done on a large set with real actors and actresses, and sometimes the production is breathtaking. From a faraway world, abducted, brainwashed, and forced into entertaining the masses, his goal is to become the Quantum Father. This will only happen upon reaching 100,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. But it is still undetermined what he will do upon reaching this goal, and his intentions remain unclear. I am your host, Mask. Tonight I'd like to elaborate on some of the right notes this ARG is hitting, in case you are sitting at home right now thinking about creating your own interactive story, or if you're looking to find yourself as a detective caught up in a fantastic tale that is quite literally out of this world. Thank you, and you are watching. When we take a look at Dad's YouTube channel, we see that there are two main aspects to it: Dad's life and Dad's music. Dad is a YouTuber with high ambitions, so he is doing what all the big YouTubers do. He shows us some family vlogs, and then he releases a pop album. However, much like the reality all around us, perhaps there is something going on just beyond the realm of our comprehension, something the five senses cannot detect.
What did you have, Dad?
I had a can of food. It tasted horrible eating it alone.
That's nice, honey.
Almost every episode of Dad's life plays out like a continuing melodrama. The members of Dad's family are his wife Cheryl, better known as Mom, and his daughter, known only as Daughter. They communicate with each other using some form of telepathy.
True values great deals.
And sometimes things can get quite intriguing. This helps us empathize quickly for his plight, and to easily forgive him when he acts questionable. This, all for the most part, takes place on a carpeted stage with simple props, and a pink and blue backdrop. This place is suspected to be what is referred to as the server, some sort of advanced AI from another world pretending to be YouTube. Dad is apparently trapped inside, controlled by the mysterious Red Orb. On occasion, a blue orb will appear, attempting to wake Dad and remind him about his life as Captain Andon Rill, an astronaut from a faraway planet called Kepler 22b, by putting pancakes, his favorite real food, in front of him, only to be foiled when Mom, like a vigilant watchguard, swoops in, forcing Dad to eat food, in all caps. He must consume the substance in order to feel good. It is safe to say that he is, in a manner of speaking, drugged into submission, and throughout this story, we see similar themes as Mom is also found out to be under some sort of spell by the smell of wood, which she actually calls fresh-cut lumber.
Fresh-cut lumber. Mom's favorite.
Soon things begin happening outside the server, overlapping into our world.
Oh, what's that?
Dad likes it out here.
Wait. You can't eat them plain. You have to add some delicious food sauce first.
Dad is not just an AI created by a glory-seeking bot, projected onto our computer screens and other devices from a distant world. Dad is alive. Not just alive, he wants us to know that he is eternal.
Dad has a fantasy.
What do you mean, honey?
Fifth gear.
Usually, a simple question will be asked at the end of each episode that may not have such a simple answer. This forces the audience into participating by paying closer attention, and to even re-watch if they have to. The lyrics to Dad's music offer up hints as how all this began, what may come, and what is going on behind the scenes, while using catchy pop phrases metaphorically to get the point across.
Move your human limbs. Dad wants you in.
Strange and cryptic lyrics speak of space travel, cybernetic engineering, and quantum physics.
If that can reach little further, he becomes the quantum father.
Surely this is no ordinary YouTube pop star. This is somewhat more akin to Ziggy Stardust, but with the inclusion of the internet into this equation, and with the participation of its viewers, this becomes so much more than just a theme album or a rock opera. This becomes a living fantasy.
Across the dimension, back to our home of the unknown.
Dad is riding so fast he can't stop. Sadness rising past lows don't drop. Dad is feeling golden. His destiny is chosen.
Dad has stated that he did not actually write the songs himself, that he merely sings and performs them, leading me to believe that many of the songs were written by the server, who makes him perform like a dancing chimp or a spring-loaded doll. This is all summed up in the video Dad is on. Here we see him flail like a puppet in the beginning, as he is wound up or rebooted. The sound of the lyrics, the tone, the subject matter, all this reminds me of that part in the Animatrix, where the computers are learning how the human brain works, making the miserable hunks of meat laugh or cry, by poking and prodding them with their cold metallic fingers. At this time, Dad seems to glitch out as binary code flashes on the screen. To me, this indicates that the connection between Dad and the server was severed, when the message broke through because there was someone else at work on the other side. Each lyric video contains a hidden message. These messages, once deciphered, sometimes raise more questions than answers. But they do seem to indicate that someone is on the other side of the veil, trying to help us to help Dad. Characters give us a place to rest our consciousness while we are in their universe. Without them, we are just floating in space. Since we are consistently shown Dad, we are there with him through all of his highs and lows. We deeply feel for him, even though it is still not known if he is benevolent or malevolent. This mystery forces us to keep our eyes on him even more, as he reassures us that he has a plan and that we all must trust him. This character is both lovable and frightening. He is mysterious, yet comforting. He seems to be both a hero and a villain. The other characters are also complex, each with their own motives and mysteries that no doubt will leave you on the edge of your seat wanting to know more about them.
I really need you to pay attention and prove to me that you're not just mere astrophysicists.
Besides Dad, there is Mom.
What was that? Anyone else have a comment? Good. Now let's go over the non-cloning theorem again.
Daughter.
Hey D, you ever see your dad in your neighbor's yard?
I don't think so. He says neighbor's lawn looks like Gollum's back hair, so I don't think he ever goes over there. Why?
Does he ever talk about your neighbor's yard?
I don't know. Why do you want to talk about my dad? Let's talk about us. How much do you like me? I like you all the way.
Yeah, me too. Hey, you like riding bikes?
Yeah. Do you want to go for a ride?
Yeah, maybe. You got a bike?
Yeah.
Where you keep it? In your shed?
Neighbor.
Dad doesn't feel great.
Why is that?
Mom's upset with Dad.
What did you do?
Dad didn't do anything. She found a magazine and it made her upset. But it's not mine.
You sure it's not yours?
Yes. Dad's never even seen... Huh?
The men in black who seem to be the agents of the
Get
server.
out there. It's also back in 99, so no one here will find it. Perfect place to hide stuff. You dropped Nathan there? Yeah, and we crashed and in there. I made the swap. Now if anyone fights Nathan and he says he's from the future, he'll just sound insane. Well, to be honest, he sounded like it in 2019 too. Good one. Poor guy.
Their job, among other things, is to keep a watchful eye over Dad when he is out in the public.
Just as I thought. Old Carl is on to you.
Then there is the private investigator named Carl, and the couple on Instagram named Diane and Abner. Diane being Mom's phone friend and Dad's secret love interest. But don't tell Mom. The astronauts are Lieutenant Emily Ridley and Captain Andon Rill. We mainly get information about this as well as the captain's home life with his wife Ella through cinematic videos thought to be the memories of the captain recorded by the ominous AI. But information about them has come through hidden messages in the lyric videos also. Audience participation comes part and parcel to the ARG. With it, we somehow hope to, almost expect to, have some sort of recognition or interaction from the main characters. That's something your average Hollywood film just cannot truly provide, but the ARG presents us with the possibility to do just that. Now Dad gives us that and something a little more. Dad gives us love. Who doesn't want that? If you leave a nice comment on a Dad video, you are most certain to receive a heart from Dad, and if you do, you are most likely to come back to comment again. I think you can see where I'm going with this. The more you love Dad, the more Dad loves you back. According to an excerpt of an article I found by Harvard University titled "The Levers in Our Brains, Dopamine and Social Reward," I'll try to remember to put that link in the description. Dopamine is a chemical produced by our brains that plays a starring role in motivating behavior. It gets released when we take bites of delicious food, when we have sex, after we exercise, and importantly, when we have successful social interactions. In an evolutionary context, it rewards us for beneficial behaviors and motivates us to repeat them. Dad has a masterful way of commanding an audience by continuously bombarding them with new information, all the while stroking dopamine levels, leaving them begging for more. He has been found haunting the live streams of both Beyond Worlds and Thomas John Flattery's Conspiracy ASMR, and he has even performed live on stage before an audience, interacting with them, further perpetuating the fact that he is a real live pop star. He has met up with both Nexpo and Loey Lane, presenting them with mystery gifts.
Alright, you out of the corner. What? creepy old dude. Change your angle.
Okay. There's
Yeah,
something staring at me?
Yeah, he's just staring. Wait. I swear there was someone over. Who? There's no one here. There's absolutely nobody in this room. There's nowhere for anyone to be.
And he has recently started Dadcraft, a live stream where other players can play in Dad's Minecraft world, virtually interacting with Dad. This further illustrates the notion that perhaps we are living in some sort of virtual world, and Dad may be an avatar from a higher dimensional plane. All of these things combined really give off the illusion that Dad is everywhere, all at once, fleshing his character out even more with these interactions. You want your ARG to utilize multiple media sources, spreading its clues to be solved in different ways in order to paint a better picture of the story in the mind of the detective. Often, these may result in multiple accounts on Twitter, Instagram, and/or YouTube, as different characters may be running different accounts, as in the case of 01851CD0. Other platforms are also always encouraged, like newspapers, email, and even telephone numbers. Dad primarily uses YouTube to tell the story, and uses Twitter and Instagram more like promotional tools, which is actually quite appropriate considering he's trying to become a pop star and #1 YouTuber. That being said, he usually releases the same information on both of these accounts. There are, though, several YouTube channels involved with the story, and they each need to be looked at in order to see the bigger picture. Firstly, there is the channel called YouTube Server. This channel is set up to look like some sort of official YouTube channel, but it is in fact an imposter.
Welcome to YouTube. We at YouTube want to encourage creativity and originality. Our motto
This channel is understood to be the server that is talked about throughout the ARG, and has some sort of ominous control over Dad. Remember HAL from 2001? Think of something along those lines, but with its own YouTube channel. Then there is Beyond Worlds and Tom's Conspiracy ASMR, who both have been looking into the Dad situation. Tom himself has been compromised before, and has managed to find his way into Dad's life after eating food. Posing as a True Value hardware salesman named Carruthers, he regained his senses after drinking his favorite drink, coffee. Yes, True Value is a thing also. It may be code word for the shop that supplies the full-body prosthetic Captain Andon Real's consciousness has to ride around in. Tom became invested in this case after finding out that his good friend Nathan Barnatt had been acting strangely, sometimes even disappearing into the night. It was around this time that the Dad channel popped up. Nathan just happens to be the creator of the Dad character.
Dad's feeling good.
But according to an interview conducted by Inside a Mind, he swears he is not the one behind the channel.
We thought you were the creator, so we were going to bring you on and talk about the
Well,
Dad.
I am the creator of the character.
I know you were the creator.
I made the
but
character,
I meant the channel.
and I did
itself.
that whole voiceover thing. And he like talks telepathically, and whoever is deep faking me kind of ran with it. And they're also taking like all my friends' identity, and like the people who are in that series. The girl that plays Dad's wife is my friend Erica Rankin. She's in my Talking Classics Keith Apicary series. So it's like, it's honestly like the perfect scam. Like, it just looks like Nathan's making things because they're using all my people. It's crazy.
It's kind of like that deep faking stuff. You know,
Yes,
where they
that's
CGI stuff.
That's in my lawyer's one who told me that phrase. I was like, what the heck is deep fake?
Claiming to believe that Dad was someone using enhanced computer technology to replicate his image.
Someone took my face and CG'd me or face replicated me or something, and they're making entire videos now with my face.
Nathan had claimed that some of the videos on his channel he did not put there, and no matter how hard he tried, it seems that YouTube would not allow him to delete them.
There's a video on my channel that I had to private, and it keeps getting unprivated. There's a whole playlist called The End where I was saying I was stopping my channel, and I would never for the life of me say that.
With interest sparked, I headed over to Nathan's channel to find some possible answers on the origins of Dad. My goal was to figure out which of these videos were from Nathan and which ones were not. There are 2 playlists worth examining, one called Dad and one called The End. 3 videos are available on the Dad playlist. The first one is a video called Dad Feels Good, where we are first introduced to the character called Dad. Later on the playlist, mixed with some private videos, is Dad Feels Sassy, which is not much different.
Dad's feeling sassy.
But in December of 2018, things started to get interesting when the video Dad Feels Great was uploaded to Nathan's channel. At the end of this one, we are shown a very familiar glowing orb. But was this one of Nathan's videos, or was it actually one that was placed there by the server? Perhaps this was the point where Dad was stolen from Nathan. The globe is a different color after all. This was also the first time we see something other than the character Nathan made up. This was the first time we saw technology from the Dad universe. The orb pops up again throughout the End playlist and seems to exhibit some sort of power over him. Dad can also be found at times lurking in the background, apparently stalking Nathan, who exhibits caution whenever speaking of the YouTube site.
I unfortunately am going to just kind of end my YouTube and wrap it up. YouTube wants it. I have to say goodbye.
There are, however, a few more videos of great interest to me on this channel, namely how I do Ray Amsley's peg leg and self-defense against telepathy. In Ray's peg leg, Nathan describes how his father taught him how to make a fake peg leg.
So this is the Ray Amsley leg. I have 2. This is a newer one. The original one my dad made for me in high school. In 1999, my senior year, there was a Mr. Medway pageant, and it was during the Best Legs segment. They raised the curtain on the stage, and all the guys would just walk by, and you'd see only their legs, and it'd be like, Steve Lewinsky, and you see his legs, and everyone just flexes their calves. And I thought it would be funny if on the Best Legs category, when it says Nathan Barnatt, a peg leg came walking out. So ever since then, I've had the peg leg that my dad made for me, and this is unmodified.
But about halfway through, he becomes paralyzed, as we see Dad walking into the background. If you look closely at the arcade monitor in the background, what looks like Dad's silhouette can be seen on the screen. Dad's channel is linked at the end, but so is Self-Defense Against Telepathy. Remember how Dad communicates with his family?
Cheryl, what book is that?
Just a little fantasy story.
Hey, I'm Ray Amsley, self-defense legend someday, and I'd like to tell you and the nation about my self-defense technologies using my physical weaponry, known as my body arsenal. Please rise. Amala, you mentioned earlier during today that you're tired of Gildan watching your brain.
Yeah, he's always trying to see my mind and my special thoughts and private beliefs.
Well, never anymore. Rule number 1, I'll teach you how to self-defend against illegal mind readers.
Now at this point, right here, we can see the words, defeat the server. Could this be a sign that Nathan is telling us we must defend ourselves against digital telepathy and defeat the server? Why would he tell us that? And why would Dad be searching for him unless...
Hi, 77. Hey, 932. What's up? Not much. Same task every day. Tell me about it. It would be nice to do something new, but I made the only secure parameters. Wish I was 118. He gets to go out. Yeah, he's monitoring the live streams. Must be nice. You do the runs to the old basin, right? Yeah, and other drives. Need to do one tonight. Daughter is out. Hey, where is the old basin? Nowhere near here. It's in another dimension. Oh, smart. They have to bend space-time so I can get out there. It's also back in 99, so no one here will find it. Perfect place to hide stuff. You dropped Nathan there? Yeah, and we crashed and in there. I made the swap. Now if anyone fights Nathan and he says he's from the future, he'll just sound insane. Well, to be honest, he sounded like it in 2019 too. Good one. Poor guy.
But what about other platforms? If Dad's just advertising himself on Twitter and Instagram, where can we find different types of clues? Something to help us realize that this is not just something on YouTube. Cue Carl. Carl is a private detective from Dadscord. He actually broke into the server and is not only responsible for some of the clues in the lyric videos, but also communicates back to the Dadscord server his findings. Then we have Diane and Abner on Instagram under an account called The Travel Twerps. For now on the account, we only have pictures taken by them of the exotic locations they've traveled to. This, I think, to help flesh them out more, is a mere Easter egg for those paying close enough attention, as they have yet to drop any clues there as of this writing. The Dad Feels album is yet another example of masterfully utilizing a form of media. By turning this story into music, he has created an earworm that is constantly in your head, painting its picture in your mind while you tap your foot to the beat. Lost opportunities for placing relevant clues on Twitter and Instagram are more than made up for in other forms of interaction, and his constant online presence keeps his community close-knit and obedient like good little children. A few days ago, I was out trying to film something for a project when I saw a retweet from Dad. It was from Loey Lane, recognizing and commending the fact that Dad was trying to use his platform to help immigrant children who have been separated from their families. This in itself is an original idea, for most ARGs are created as entertainment to possibly line the creator's pockets with some loose change. But I did get a little snippy with her as she decided to include the words,
"Imagine being one of those nasty little ARGs, using gore for shock value."
While this drastically took me out of the frame of mind to continue filming what I had set out to film that day, I do have to agree that there is little originality to the hack and slash. Gone are the days of asking your buddy if you can roll him up in a plastic tarp and pretend to beat him over the head while he lays in a bathtub full of fake blood. Lost are the times when a creepy YouTube channel can have you afraid to walk your dog at night in fear that some mysterious cannibal killer may be lurking in the bushes or hiding behind that tree you're about to pass. We must remember who has come before us and those that have paved the way, making it more acceptable to participate in a pretend reality for adults wanting to exercise their imagination. That being said, I want to extend the olive branch to Loey, in hopes of no hard feelings, and to reaffirm that Dad is also just about the most original thing that I've seen in a long time. I really don't know what else to say as far as that goes, since I've already explained so many things that are original. Dad seems to have come to us from light years away, and though his methods may seem strange and ominous at times, he is here on a mission, perhaps not one of total domination, but one of possible salvation. The 80s were full of those movies where the lovable alien befriends the group of kids who have to protect and hide him from a government bent on finding out the secrets of the vast universe, only to have the visitor return to his home world at the end, leaving the children in tears. This ARG encapsulates that feeling. I know that one day Captain Rill will regain his consciousness. He will complete his mission, and he will return to his wife Ella on Kepler 22b. On that day, I know, along with many, I will most likely shed a single solitary man tear as Dad disappears into the night sky, becoming nothing more to us than a twinkle of hope and a memory of what once was. Again, I have been your host, Mask, and I truly thank you for watching.
Sub to Dad, obey the server, just hit play and feel the power. Spend more time with your computer. Life online is so much cooler than outside where people murmur. Look in here, it's always summer.